Okay, I want you to take a look at this one here. We're asked to graph, this is question 5.4.2 of the November 20 paper 2 exam on a trig graph question. Now let's just try this thing. They say use the graphs. Just by looking at the graph, we're supposed to figure out what root 3 sine x plus cos x is greater than 1. But I don't see any root 3 sine x cos x here. Which one of these? Oh, it's so weird. And then you think, oh, there's this simple trick. If I just went the sine of x plus 30 and used the sum identity for sine, the sine of x plus 30 is really the sine of x. It's really the sine of x times the cos of 30 plus the cos of x times the sine of 30. And you know that the cosine of 30 is root 3 over 2. The sine of 30 is a half. Hey, root 3 sine x, 1 cos x, that's that part. Then I thought, wow, if you divide everything by 2, then it would look exactly like this. So if I take this equation, divide everything by 2, I get this funny way of looking at the sine of x plus 30. It's really root 3 over 2 sine x plus 1 half cos x is greater than a half. So that's what we need to do. We need to figure out where root 2 root 3 over 2 sine x plus a half cos x is greater than or equal to a half. Because this is just another way of looking at the sine of x plus 30, we just need to figure out what's going on with this function g where it equals a half. Well, if you put in 0 degrees here, 0 plus 30, the sine of 30 is a half. And if you put in 120 plus 30 is 150. And the sine of 150 is the same as the sine of 30. You should know that about sine, theta and 180 minus theta. So I know if I put 120 in there or 0, I'm going to get a half. Well, those are my key things because now I'm looking at the graph and the question is, when does this function g go above a half? Well, I'm looking at it in between 0 and this 120 degrees. I needed that 120 degrees there to answer the question. Okay, so you could do kind of a general solution of this thing and you'd get 0 and 120 and lots of answers, but I can see 120 makes it true. So the answer for when it's greater than a half, when it's in between 0 and 120, when x is less than or equal to 120, but greater than or equal to 0 degrees. And that's your answer. But that wasn't so easy, but that's the answer.